ever lovely, talented, and troublesome co-host, Miss Andrea Kay.
Just doing what I do.
Always suckering me into some of these events, which is great. I love it. And Mr. Urban Miaris, and our next guest is the one and only Michelle Ahearne from Natural High. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, Barry.
Great. This is all about having fun today. You know, I think we left all the hard business behind. But tell us about Natural High. What is it that you do, and how do you do it?
Sure. We are a San Diego-based national nonprofit organization, and we are committed to helping young people discover what they're passionate about. We call that a natural high instead of using drugs and alcohol. So our goal is really to address the crisis right now of young people using drugs. So it's estimated that by 2020, substance abuse will become a major medical and health crisis.
Well, we talked about it before the show. It's I think that this whole thing stemmed out of crisis tragedies that happened in some of your families. So, how did Natural High come about?
Yeah, well, our philosophy comes out of the reality that everyone has a story, and most of us have been impacted by substance abuse. And our founder, his name's John Sunt, and he is a businessman here in La Jolla. He lost both of his brothers to substance abuse, and he was really angry. They, wanted to hang out with their friends. They thought they could kick it up a notch, and they unfortunately lost their lives. And so John started our organization in 1994. So this is our 20th anniversary.
20th year.
And we do things really differently than most drug prevention organizations. So a lot of people are familiar with the whole just say no and scare tactics, and we're all about just saying yes. And so we're about helping kids understand that they can say yes to something, which is a natural high.
So instead of beating the negative message, this is a bad thing, into them, you're beating the positive message, and what can you do that doesn't involve drugs?
Absolutely. And we tell kids that everyone has a natural high and that there are no exceptions.
That's awesome.
What's an example of a natural high?
Well, it could be anything. Dance, running, skateboarding.
Doing the
being on the close up on San Diego business.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Doing the boot camp challenge.
Only on today's show.
Yeah.
So one of these days we'll get back to business. But great. So you have your 20th Gala event coming up soon.
We do. We have it on September 20th. So 20th anniversary on September 20th. It is at the Hilton La Jolla Torrey Pines from 6 to 10 p.m. And we have a VIP party from 5 to 6. And we'll be honoring the Sunt family for their contributions in helping start the organization. And then we have some really exciting celebrity star-studded events going on. We'll be honoring Corbin Bleu, who you might know from High School Musical and Dancing with the Stars most recently. He is one of our celebrity spokespeople, and he has just released a video for us talking about dancing and performing as his natural high.
Well, let me ask you, most people that are in the celebrity status have some kind of challenges because they just have everything in front of them, everything available to them. Did Corbin Bleu have some problems that he had to overcome? Is that why he got involved?
Well, he is an incredibly philanthropic young person, so he's involved with a lot of different organizations. He also has been impacted by substance abuse. The celebrity industry is pretty impacted.
Yeah, if they're not involved in it themselves, they've lost somebody to it.
Absolutely. And so many of us have a story. At our gala, we'll be honoring an educator and a young person. And even our educator this year has been impacted by substance abuse. She almost lost her brother, and she was teaching the Natural High program in schools and really, really was able to do some healing through that.
Yeah, I think everybody I know has been impacted in some way or another, either with a friend or a family member or themselves. Now, why is this program and this more successful than a Just Say No?
Well, that's a great question. I think the most important thing for us is that we work with educators and celebrities to actually get this message out. In other programs, you have law enforcement kind of talking down at kids, or you have scaring kids. And with us, we're all about getting celebrities to really encourage kids to find what they're passionate about. Our celebrities are also very authentic in their message, so we don't script them. We just ask them questions, and they volunteer their time. And so the other thing that's really beneficial is that the program is free. So we offer this program free of charge. And right now we work with 18,000 educators, and we're reaching about 7 million young people.
Wow.
Yeah.
What age, I'm sorry, what age group is this? You're telling young people?
Yeah. So our primary target is middle school. And the reason that that's our target is because the average age when first use starts now is around 13.
Oh, that is shocking. I mean, I think it used to be, 16, and it just keeps getting younger
and younger. And I think that the perceptions around drug use right now are changing. And so we're really trying to emphasize a natural high instead.
So tell us a little bit about some of the events that you put on.
So, our main program is this video series, and it's all digital right now, so educators can access it for free, and so can parents as well. There's 50 different videos, and there's a full-on curriculum that's built to accompany those videos. That's our main program. And then we do some school assemblies locally here and also nationally. And we just got off of the Vans Warp Tour, which is a traveling concert you may have heard of. It's a lot of funk, kind of heavy metal music, and Natural High was there to really try to counter the drug culture that's there. So we just were in 42 cities over 55 days traveling with a band called Echosmith, and they are, if you've heard the radio lately, there's a song called Cool Kids. Mm-hmm. We were on the bus with them. They're MTV's Artist to Watch. So
that's great.
Yeah, it's really important that kids have a positive message.
Does it ever get, when you see that there's just an increased glorification, or not necessarily a glorification, but a increased acceptance of drug use in the country, does it ever feel like it's getting to be a bigger rock that you're pushing uphill, or do you feel energized and hopeful and excited every day?
We feel energized and hopeful and excited. It is a big rock, and we are scared. When we see that drugs are being legalized, it's just sending another mixed message to kids, and that's kind of why we're working on emphasizing the positive instead of really focusing on the negative.
Right.
Yeah.
I know.
Imagine what the world would be like without people like Michelle in it.
I can't even imagine.
I could just just feel that it would help so much with the young kids. I know my grandkids, depression, they don't know, confusion, all this. It's sounds like a wonderful relief for them too.
Yeah, well, one of the things that we've really responded to young people is to grow our program outside of schools and into social media. And so we all know that kids kind of live on their mobile devices. And so we have really worked hard at building our social media presence so that in addition to kids getting a lot of the negative messages on social media with people smoking and drinking, we are constantly on our social media hitting them with positive messages and encouraging messages to counter that. Because again, the data is showing now that all those negative drug-related messages are actually impacting kids, and they're impacting the drug use.
Yeah. You're listening to Close Up on San Diego Business here on KFSC AM 1450 and financialnewsandtalk.com. I'm your host, Barry Waxler, here with my co-hosts Andrea Kay and Urban Miaris, and our guest right now is Michelle Ahearne from Natural High. So before we go too far, tell our listeners how they can find out more about Natural High.
Yes, please. We would love for you to visit naturalhigh.org. There's 3 boxes when you first get to the website, and one of them is about our 20th anniversary gala, and there's another one about our education programs. And I would say that those are the 2 best ways to get involved. We would love, if you're in San Diego, to come to the gala. And if you're in San Diego or outside of San Diego and you sign up for our education network, you can have access to all of our resources completely for free.
Interesting. Well, I'll make a quick offer to you, which we don't typically do on air. But anytime you want to go out to any of these schools, if we can do it on our Thursday morning visit, we'll be happy to take the show mobile with you.
We would love that. We have a Natural High Club up in North County that would love that.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Now, parental involvement, we haven't talked about that. Mm-hmm. How involved, or are parents involved at all with your organization and with this the program itself?
Absolutely. Well, parental involvement is really important. The statistics say that if parents just talk to their kids about drugs, their kids are 50% less likely to start using. So
Wow.
It's really important for parents to be part of the solution. And that's part of the reason why we went completely digital, was because parents were saying, hey, my school, doesn't use this right now. Can we have access to these resources? So parents are critical. We work a lot with parents through PTAs, because a lot of times educators are strapped and they don't have time to do certain things. So parents have kind of picked up and started running with this in schools. And our large percentage of our donor base are parents, and they care about this not only for kids in Ohio, but they care about it for kids in their own kids and their kids' friends. And I think that makes a huge difference. And in fact, yesterday we got a really beautiful letter titled A 20-Year Tribute, and it was from a parent. And her son, we run a PSA contest where we ask kids to make their own natural high videos about what they're passionate about and how they use it to stay away from drugs. And her son had won the contest when he was in high school. And she wrote us a very long letter thanking us and saying that her son had grown up with our program in middle school and in high school, and that he had just graduated from college and had literally said, Natural High was there for Daniel year after year when he needed your message and relied on it. Now, like others you've helped through their most vulnerable years, he exemplifies your message. So he has stayed clean and is out kind of living that life and promoting it. And she was just expressing that gratitude. So as soon as I got that email, I forwarded it onto our board and the rest of my staff, because I thought, sometimes because we're nationally based, we don't always know the impact that we're having. Yeah. And so to get stories like that, it's really powerful.
Yeah, no, it's great to get the stories. The impact you have is probably the least publicized, because you don't know when you've had the success stories. You only see when the failures come in, and that's a hard thing to overcome.
Absolutely. Well, and it's hard to talk about prevention because we're preventing things to happen. Yeah. And because we're not on the ground, we work with educators who then disseminate our information to students. And so it makes it a really efficient organization, but sometimes we don't get these stories back. So,
well, congratulations on, because I know that story is just one of many.
Absolutely. Lots of untold out there. And that's really why we want to celebrate on September 20th and really mark the last 20 years and really set the stage for the next 20 years.
Well, let's guide our listeners one last time how to get to your website and find out more about the gala and more about your charity as a whole.
Yes, naturalhigh.org, and tickets are $250 for regular tickets, $350 for VIP tickets, and we would really love to have your support.
Great.
Thank you.
Well, we will look forward to helping you out, and I appreciate you being here. We'll talk more and come visit. You're listening to Close Up on San Diego Business, where we get up close and personal with homegrown San Diego businesses and the people that are working hard to make a difference in our community. This is financialnewsandtalk.com. I'm your host, Barry Waxler. We'll be right back after the break with more homegrown business Close Up, and we will have Mr. J.D. Davids from the Fronis Group with us.